I saw somebody post this in a Facebook group and I decided to try it for myself. But I don't know anything about Arduino or Raspberry Pi, so I decided to go a different route and I went through Amazon. And this is what I came up with, and this is what I'm going to share with you. So to get this project going, we're going to need a RGB LED ring lamp. About 60 LEDs are in this lamp. It comes from Amazon. It's about $19. And then I also wanted a Bluetooth controller. It does come with a control unit, but it's not Bluetooth. So this was a separate piece. It's another 15 bucks, but it was definitely worth it. And of course, you need a power source. So you do need a transformer that is going to be an exact match to the LED. In this case, it's 5 volts, 2 amps, and this plugs right into the wall. So let's go ahead and do that. Pop it in there, and let's link up the Bluetooth to the actual LED lamp. It's pretty self-explanatory. There's only one connection that fits. And then the other end, that's going to plug into the power source. And this is it. Boom. You've got some color. So now that barcode that's on the unit, you can scan that with your phone or your pad, and it'll give you this interface. This app is really, really dynamic. Now if you take a look at the numbers that are scrolling at the very top center of that interface, that's where you choose your different light patterns, and there's just loads and loads of them. As a matter of fact, there's different algorithms you can choose from, RGB, GBR, etc., and then it will change the pattern of those lights, counterclockwise or clockwise. And you can then choose your favorite one and bookmark it so you don't have to sit there and scroll through to find it. Now, the interface at the bottom, that one is for your manual settings. You can choose the speed of the rhythm. You can also choose the brightness. So if you're doing some photography, you can control the brightness of the LED so you don't burn out your photograph. Or you can use the ring itself as a light source. Now, you're going to have to keep the LEDs off the surface of the plastic. About a ½ inch is going to be recommended. If you have it directly on the plastic, you're going to get hot spots. And if you're going to glue it to the plastic, you just might ruin those LEDs and you'll never be able to remove it. So you cut a piece of styrene tube and you actually drill into the actual plastic and then glue it down. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Matter of fact, let me show you before that how nice it looks when you back the LEDs away from the surface. You actually get the glow of the plastic instead of the hot spots from the LEDs. And now let me show you how to mount it. You're going to drill 1/8 of an inch into the plastic, and then you're going to take a ½ inch of that styrene tube. And the reason why I say tube is because we're going to be using screws to thread into the tube to hold that ring onto the other ring. So once you glue it down with some super glue, wait for it to dry, and because the threads on the screw are going to be pretty much the same size as the inner diameter of that tube, it's going to be an exact fit. Now, those little tiny screws that I'm about to show you that I used, I got off of another toy, and it's from those little skateboards that actually have screws in them holding the wheels. Well, I removed those, and these are the tiny screws. Let me position the actual ring in a correct or better view so you can see the attachment. It's really hard working up this close when there's things that are so small. Now this is the back of the ring, and it has these pre-drilled holes. You don't have to drill any holes. Just drop the screw into that pre-drilled hole, match it up with the inner diameter of that tube, and again, I'm in just at a bad angle here. I can't even see it myself. So let me switch this around. That way both of us can see it, and that way I could attach this properly. And by the way, you're only going to need 3. The top 3. The bottom one, it's actually just going to rest up against all of that molding, so you're not going to need to drill anything there or glue anything down. But you're going to have to attach it to the top 3 screws. So now at the top left, you can see this small screw. Let me bring it to the center, and I'm just going to match it up, starting with this one, and just tighten it down. You don't want to over tighten because it is plastic and you can't strip it. So do that to the other 2, and then you're all set. Now let me show you here. Now the top left corner is the interface I already shown you earlier, so that doesn't actually show the effects on the right, but those are the multiple effects that you can choose from if you're looking at the right screen, the larger one. And then the top small screen, and this is how you would manipulate it. Obviously in the top screen at the left, the ring is right on the iPad. Now the screen on the right, the larger screen, I'm actually 10 feet away from the actual ring changing colors. So you definitely have a control or distance. And of course, if you're doing some photography, you're going to need this because you're going to want to control that light pattern or the light brightness from a distance and not have to be on top of the actual product. So you can look through your viewfinder, control it, and take your picture or multiple pictures to produce your composite, etc. So this is really, really nice. I really enjoyed working on this. It was actually very simple to put together. Now, of course, here's a small list of those parts. And yes, I will put all of this in a description for you to easily read it and find it, and along with all of the links from Amazon for you to find it. And yes, you can use it with your Marvel Legends because that's where it comes from. This is from Doctor Strange. If you've got the Doctor Strange figure, then you've got this ring. If you want to put 2 rings together, that actual LED ring comes with an extension wire for you to link 2 of them together. And then you can control it with the same app. I only have the one, I only need one. And this thing stays lit all day, all night because it's working off of the wall, the outlet. So this is a really nice thing to have. Now, if you're liking this kind of thing, lighting, etc., I'm going to leave a playlist of all of the other, or I should say the more recent projects that have to do with lighting, so you can get an idea for other projects that you may have in mind. We'll see you here next time.